Is Thornton, Colorado a good place to live? Well, let's find out. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about the top things that you absolutely should know before moving to Thornton, Colorado. Let's get started. Hi there, Christy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado, but more importantly, I am a native of Colorado. If you're new to my channel, all of my videos are catered to help you figure out where the best place to move to. If that's something that interests you, please click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Now, as much as I love making these videos, I love helping you more. So right there is my contact information. Reach out to me anytime. I'd love to talk. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about Thornton, Colorado, and whether or not it's a good place to live. I mean, everybody has different opinions about this particular location, so let's just jump right in. All right, so Thornton is going to be located roughly 10 miles north of Denver. So you're going to be only roughly about 25 minutes away from Denver. So I definitely think that's awesome. Like, if you don't want that hustle and bustle city life that Denver has, and you want to be a little bit on the outskirts, Thornton is going to be a great option, especially since they just brought in the light rail. The light rail now, as of 2 or 3 years ago, now goes all the way up to Thornton. So you could actually still utilize public transportation, the light rail specifically, to get down to Denver if you want to go see maybe a Rockies game or a concert, Broncos, whatever. Or it'll also take you to other locations throughout Denver as well. It'll take you all the way down south if you want to get down to Park Meadows and go shopping. I don't know. But it is great that Thornton does offer the light rail now. One thing I will say about Thornton is that it is the 6th most populous cities in Colorado. So their population right now is just over 142,000 people. So it is quite large. So that's something to take into account as well. If you're somebody who, maybe wants a smaller vibe, a little bit more small town feel, Thornton's not going to be it. You do have a lot going on in Thornton. It is a very large city and a very populous city that's continually growing. In fact, it is growing so fast that for a while they were only having, I would say, single family homes was the biggest part of the draw of Thornton. Well, now apartments, condos, townhomes are popping up everywhere. A bunch of retail and commercial is going up into Thornton because people want to live there and they're naturally just gravitating towards this area. So one thing to note about this area is that it is going to be less expensive as far as a home price is concerned than some of its other surrounding neighborhoods. So I would say average house price point in Thornton right now is mid 500s, and it definitely is going to depend on what area of Thornton you're in. If you're wanting something of a newer build, you're probably going to be more in the north side of Thornton, and that area is exploding. Those homes are going to be priced a little bit more expensive, mid 600s and then well up depending on what type of home you get, whether it's custom, land, things like that. So just kind of note that, but overall average is going to be mid 500s to live in that area. I will also say that rents, though, if you're wanting to move to Thornton, rents are actually more expensive in Thornton. It's a weird thing that they have going on. Houses are less expensive than the average, around Denver. Rents are more. So do kind of keep that in mind if you're planning on renting. Maybe not so much in Thornton. I would look in other areas just because rent does tend to be more expensive in that area. Cool thing about Thornton is that they have so many amenities around. They are really trying to cater to people moving there. Just they want to keep everybody there who live there very much entertained. So they are built a Topgolf. You have the Denver Premium Outlets up there now. You actually have Waterworld. Waterworld actually is not considered Thornton per se. It's more on the North Glen but they kind of share the same. So I do want to mention it because most people do think Waterworld is Thornton. But that is one of the biggest water parks in Colorado. You're going to have a bunch of open spaces. In fact, there's 25 major parks that are in Thornton, but 2,500 other areas that people utilize. So you have parks, trails, dog parks, all of that kind of stuff, disc golf, all of those things. You have 2,500 acres of Thornton that utilize for outdoor activities. If you're a golfer, disc golf, anything like that, you absolutely have the ability to utilize anything in Thornton because it's all right there. Todd Creek Golf Course is going to be right there, and that's a very well-known public golf course that's going to be right there as well. So when we're talking about utilities, when we're living in Thornton, I will say one thing you should know is that the water in Thornton tends to be a little bit higher than, say, Broomfield, North Glen, Westminster areas. So they will be a little bit higher. The only other areas that are going to be higher than Thornton as far as water is concerned is going to be Erie and Brighton. And then also I found that some people do tend to say that the water tastes a little bit weird in Thornton. I don't really know about that. I actually used to live in Thornton at one point. I never really noticed it, but some people seem to think that. So you might want to invest in some sort of water filtration system if you do live there. Another thing I want to note is that Thornton overall tends to be a little bit less on par for their schools. So if you have a family and you're concerned about, your child's education and what type of schools and districts and whatever that they're going into, I want you to do your own research. On average, it's Adams 12 school districts, Adams 5, Star 12, something like that. It's like a bunch of different numbers. Anyways, it tends to be a little bit less prominent as some of the other school districts. So I do want you to be aware of that. It's something that when you do live in that area and if it's of a concern to you, maybe you're going to be looking more into either private or charter schools. But again, do your own research on that. I do want you just to be aware of that. And then also, so Thornton tends to be, it's really, really large. You're spanning from pretty much 88th and I-25 all the way up to about 165th and I-25. So it's a big chunk of area that Thornton does tend to be part of. The older side of Thornton is going to be on the south side. So that's going to be maybe the older houses built in the 50s and 60s. A lot smaller houses, but definitely more affordable houses are going to be on that side. The newer houses, if you're somebody who wants more of the newer houses or maybe even the larger houses, that's going to be pretty much I-25 and 136-ish going north. So all of the new stuff is going to be going much farther north. All of the older stuff, and there's definitely a split, and you can see it even when you're driving around. So do kind of take that into account when you're looking around Thornton. Talk to your real estate agent, contact me, and let me know or let them know what is your price point if Thornton is where you want to be. What is your price point? And what type of feel, what do you want around you? Do you want it more new, old, if that's okay? Because it definitely was going to determine which area of Thornton you're either going to be able to afford or what you're going to like better. All right, so that's my take on Thornton and whether or not it's a good place to live. Overall, I think it is a great place to live, but there are some factors that you do need to take into account depending on your lifestyle, whether or not, you have kiddos, anything like that, price points, things of that nature. So please reach out to me if you have any additional questions. Remember to click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. And then to the next video, take care.